Well, hey, diet disruptors. Carrie here. Oh, I got all sorts of stuff going on with my hair. I should prepare myself better. Well, hi. Happy Monday to everybody. I showered. I got dressed today. Those of you that can see me on video, look, I showed up. It was just a day where I was like, you know what? I know I'm going to be working from home, but I am going to actually put some makeup on and dress up. And those of you that are listening on the podcast, you can't tell either way. So that's okay. We are streaming live in our Diet Disruptors group. We love this group. We post every day different types of content and tips and all sorts of things to try to help you get on your path towards really, truly disrupting your nutrition. And we are also streaming live on YouTube and in our Disruptive Nutrition business page. We also have this as our podcast every week. So I love that I'm able to come to you in different ways, whatever works for you. If you are listening from the podcast, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss an episode. So this week, I am very excited because we are going to talk about something that's one of my favorite things to do, but something that a lot of us haven't been able to do as much as we want to. And now that things are starting to open up again, I thought this was the perfect topic to dig into. We are going to talk about dining out. Yes, going out to eat, date night, restaurants, out with friends, all of those things we are going to cover today. So before we get started, for those of you that are live with me, or even if you're watching on the replay, take a minute to tell me what's your favorite kind of restaurant to go out to. Is it Italian? Is it Japanese? Is it like American fusion, Asian fusion? What is it? I have two of my favorite types of restaurants, and they both are Asian. And I don't know if it has to do with the fact that I lived in Singapore for 6.5 years back in 2005 until 2011 and fell in love with Asian cuisine. So sushi is one of my most favorite meals, and Thai food. And where I lived in Singapore, you could go to Thailand for a weekend on a really cheap flight. So my kids have been to Thailand more than they've been to any other country. Isn't that crazy? And there's a few really great restaurants out here. I'm in New England on the East Coast, and we have some really great restaurants here for Japanese food, some great sushi, and for Thai food. So tell me what your favorite foods are. Now, here's the thing. When we go out to eat, a lot of people think that you have to, you are cheating, quote unquote, cheating when you're going out to eat. Now, let me tell you first how I feel about that word, especially when it comes to nutrition. Here at Disruptive Nutrition, if you've been following us for any amount of time, you know that we don't use that word. We don't use the word cheat because cheating sounds like you're doing something wrong. And when you are enjoying a well-cooked meal, something that you are paying for, something that you are just excited about, why should that be associated with a word like cheat? So when our diet disruptors truly learn how to disrupt their nutrition, often with our 4 weeks to wellness lifestyle launch, then they learn the beauty of what we call an appreciation meal. And that is what it is. There's no guilt with that. And as somebody that is recovering still, I will always be recovering from an eating disorder, that is very important to me, to be able to say, not that I'm cheating or that there's guilt around food, but that I'm celebrating with food. So the reason why we call it an appreciation meal is because, and not a cheat meal, is because we're not doing harm to our bodies. We're not cheating our bodies. When we eat the way that we teach, by fueling our body with food, by eating what we call PFC every 3, eating in threes, balancing our blood sugar. When we balance our blood sugar by eating PFC, that means we're eating a protein, fat, and carb every 3 to 4 hours. Yes, a carb. Yes, we eat carbs and we eat them for every single meal and we eat 5 to 6 meals a day. How great is that, right? I can hear my kids on the other side of the house. This is what the pandemic has done to us. We are all trying to work. And I don't know if you can hear that or not. Oh, that's the beauty of being live. So, as we think about balancing our blood sugar, so what our body's entire goal is to have its blood sugar balanced. Think about it. When you're really hungry, I call it hangry, it's because your blood sugar is low. And if Thanksgiving and the holidays are going to be coming up, right? When you overeat, you're stuffed, you're tired, your blood sugar is actually really high. So when our blood sugar is high, we're actually storing fat. When our blood sugar is really low, when we're really hungry, and that's what a lot of diets do, they deprive us of nutrients and of just food, calories. When our blood sugar is low, we are actually trying to give ourselves the nutrients we know we need by pulling nutrients from our muscles. And I don't know about you, but I'm about to be 46 years old and we cannot afford any more muscle mass to be lost. We are automatically going to have that muscle loss and we do not need our nutrition to enhance that. What that's going to do is slow down our metabolism and make us gain more weight at the time in our lives where we don't want to do that. We can sometimes feel like we look at food, right, and gain weight. That's because just being in your middle age, right, being 40s and 50s, our metabolism is automatically going to slow down. So we need to do what we can to boost it, right? So by eating this way, we are boosting our metabolism. It's so powerful and freeing. It is just incredible. So those of you that are diet disruptors out there that eat PFC every 3, that feel that hunger every 3 to 4 hours, how freeing is it? Make some comments in here, shoot some fire out, give me some love so I know that you're here. And again, if you're on the replay, that's okay too. But that's what's so important about understanding. If we are balancing our blood sugar regularly, our bodies are actually churning. They're turning into a machine. And basically what you're saying to your body is, listen, I'm going to feed you every 3 to 4 hours. I'm going to be consistent with you. I'm going to give you what you need. And in turn, your body's like, yeah, girl, if you give me what I need, I'm going to give you what you want because I don't have to store food anymore. I don't have to store fat anymore because I know that you're going to give me what I need. So I can just take what I need and burn what I don't, and take what I need and burn what I don't. And it's just an incredibly freeing way to live. Now, that being said, I preface all of that because I know we're talking about dining out. Here's the thing, when you're setting yourself up for success, and folks on our 4 Weeks to Wellness lifestyle launch, it's really interesting. We have a big group of people just kind of finishing up one right now, and we're going to be starting one next week. When we're on our 4 Weeks to Wellness lifestyle launch, we actually aren't having that appreciation meal for that first month because we're really trying to build trust with our body and get our metabolism revved up. And then after those 4 weeks, when we're living the lifestyle, we can start to integrate that in. And the reason why, once a week, we say schedule your appreciation meal. And it is a no rules, no holds barred at all experience. Now, I don't feel very good after I have one of those meals, but I can have it and it's exciting and there's no guilt. And from somebody who used to have food make me feel so guilty and fearing food, it is an amazing option to have. Now, it doesn't mean we're just going out to dinner on an appreciation meal night. And that's what I want to talk about. There are 3 things that I want you all to be thinking about before you go out to dinner. Before you go out to dinner, okay? 3 things. It's just about setting our intentions, okay? So I often call a meal that is really healthy and correct. So healthy means it's typically whole, unprocessed foods, usually not dairy and gluten. Like when I think about really healthy, I think about clean eating. And when we're eating really clean, we're not doing dairy and gluten, soy we try to leave out, added sugars, things like that. So that's what I call healthy, right? Then correct is eating your correct balance of PFC. Okay. Now, because we're eating so many times a day, a correct balance is usually a pretty small portion. But at night for dinner, we are mindful of our portion, but we're not super strict about it. We're not super strict about anything. But when we think about our intentions going out to dinner, I want you to think of one of three things. Green light means I am going healthy and correct. I'm going to be like on point. Okay, great. Two, your second choice is that you are going yellow light, right? Maybe you're going to be mindful, but you're not going to eat really totally clean, but you're just going to be mindful of your PFC and, not a hog wild kind of event. I'm going to be an intermediate, right? Yellow light, okay? Or your third is that you are going to go red light. I am just blowing through that red light and I don't care. That's an appreciation meal. The idea is that you set your attention ahead of time and don't break that promise to yourself. Don't break that promise to yourself. If you need to, whoever you're going out to dinner with, you say, I want to be on a green light. So regardless of what I tell you while I'm sitting there, help hold me accountable, okay? Now, a yellow light for me might include a glass of wine and, not really worrying so much if like I'm going to have dairy and creams on my food, but I'm going to be thinking about my portions a little bit more and stuff like that, right? So I will just set my intention ahead of time. Now, especially if I'm green light or yellow light, I want to look at the menu first. And these days, everything is online. So go online, look at the menu. If not, call them up and ask them and say, hey, just want to kind of check in. I'm gluten-free and dairy-free. If you're going to go green light, what are the options for me, right? Or you may look at the menu and decide how you're going to tweak an item so that it could be a little bit more healthy or a little bit more correct, and just know in advance kind of what you want to do. And if you want to go red light, then you don't even need to look at the menu beforehand. You can just be like, this is what I want, and that is what you get. The other thing that I do, a lot of you know, and I'm super passionate now because I have learned a lot in the last few months about my wine. So I no longer order wine in a restaurant because I only drink clean crafted wine. And clean crafted wine is wine that's only about 3% of it is made in the world. And the clean crafted wine has no preservatives, no chemicals, no pesticides, no added sugar, no added sulfites. Now, believe it or not, 97% of the wine actually has all of those things, and we don't have to know about it. There's no label requirements on wine. If you notice, right, how do you shop for wine? You shop by the pretty label. There's no information on that label. There's as much sugar in most bottles of wine as a glazed donut. So I used to say wine is a carb, and if you're going to have wine for dinner, I want you to think about that, and you still should. But the amount of toxins and scary stuff in wine is appalling. So I bring my own wine. So that's another little tip. I often call the restaurant, and in Connecticut, I have never been told no. I can bring my own wine, and there's usually about a $15 to $20 corkage fee, which is what it would cost me anyway if I bought a bottle of wine on top of, what the wine actually costs and what they charge me. So I bring my own wine, I pay the $15, $20 corkage fee, and I know I'm drinking clean wine. It has almost no carbs in it, so it's almost like I don't even have to think about it. So I'll do that on a yellow light or a red light meal. And you don't have to drink the whole thing. You can take it back with you. So those are, the important piece of this is setting your intention and then being prepared. I don't care if you're going to go green light, yellow light, or red light. And if you're like, it is my mother's birthday and we are going out, I already had an appreciation meal this week, but it's my mother's birthday and I really want to celebrate without guilt. You can do that if you set your intention to do so. Now, the other big key is you're going to have a big meal. You're not saving calories. We never do that. In fact, you want to be as much on point with your PFC meals all day long leading up to that big meal. Because here's what happens. You kind of starve yourself and save calories. Your blood sugar gets super low. So what happens when you eat? All that food your body will hold on to and store as fat. Because again, you've not been consistent with your body that day and it doesn't know when it's going to get it again. But an appreciation meal, if you've been eating your regular PFCs throughout the day, you are going to be able to eat that appreciation meal and your body is going to burn it off. Now, you're not going to probably be hungry in 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours like you normally would. But even if I overeat in my appreciation meal, I always have a snack before I go to bed, maybe a half a bar, just to kind of reset my metabolism. It's such a different way of thinking, isn't it? So I hope this helped you. I really want to know what you think. Answer me this, put this in the comments. The next time you go out to dinner, what are you going to do? Okay. Tell me what you're going to do based on this session today. Now, I forgot to even mention, I hate that I didn't even mention this. This month, Coach Shannon is supposed to be on with me and doing these lives with me, but this poor woman is, she is moving right now. Her husband is in the military. He's actually retiring. Super congratulations to Dan. And so they are in the middle of moving. And she thought she could kind of squeeze it in, but she texted me. She's like, I am just not going to make it. So that is okay. Shannon, we miss you and love you, but we're happy. I'm happy to be here anyway with all of you. So if you are interested in thinking about our 4 weeks to wellness lifestyle launch, we open the doors today and we will keep them open till Sunday. That is it for our October. What is next week? October, I don't even know the days, you guys. A week from Monday. Isn't that terrible? What is that, the 19th? Yes, I think it's the 19th. We are launching another 4 weeks to wellness lifestyle launch. So if you really want to reset your body, and I think it's the most perfect time to do it right now, right before the holidays, before the new year. Let's not wait until the new year starts, because we always do this kind of new year, new me thing. And I'm like, no, right now is the time. You reset your body so that you are ready and able to just celebrate these holidays so you don't backslide. You are just going to keep moving along. And then you're going to start the new year knowing what to do, not learning what to do, not needing to figure it out, but being able to do it. And so what it is like resetting your body, learning how to eat PFC every 3 so that your body becomes that fat burning machine with a boosted metabolism. I love the boosted energy that I see my clients getting, the better skin that I see so many of my clients getting. And clearly, when we are moving to our optimal health, which is what we're doing, we will get to our optimal weight. And that is the way to do it, you guys, not with fad diets where you're depriving yourself. Imagine being able to know that in Thanksgiving or in your holiday dinners, how to do it so that food works for you, not works against you. So just because you've tuned in to me today, we are just this week, the week of October 12th. We'll be closing the doors on the 18th. And because you've listened to this and hung out with me this whole time, if you get to the end, I give a code sometimes, a special secret code about ways that you can get something extra special. So the secret code is Let's Dine Out. Okay? Let's Dine Out. Send me a message all over Facebook. Click on my name, send me a private message with Let's Dine Out. If you sign up for the 4 weeks to wellness, you will get a free call with me, a one-on-one call. You can do it before, during, or anytime after. You could do it a year after if you want to. You will have a call reserved with me and you by ourselves. That's usually $75. And we will just talk and work through things and go at it. So you have to sign up for the 4 weeks to wellness this week and then message me with the code Let's Dine Out. And I will reserve a spot for you based on your schedule and what works for you. So that is it. Let me know what you think, what your next meal is going to be, if it's going to be a green light, a yellow light, a red light, and all of that. Thank you guys so much. I love hanging out.